Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back. We don't have our headphones in, so we can't hear ourselves back. So hopefully we're equally as loud, maybe?
I hope so. If not, well, you'll get us next week.
Maybe next time.
Maybe. This week, I don't even...
Well, we have a very popular Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I think earlier this year, or the end of last year, the sequel came out called Hellbent.
I think this year.
This year? I can't. There's so many. But fantasy...
Yeah.
I don't know what is technically classified on Goodreads, but I think this is going to be our first fantasy on this podcast.
Yeah, I don't think we've done one.
Mm-hmm. I haven't read a fantasy in a little while, must say.
Yeah, this is fantasy, fiction, mystery, adult, horror, paranormal.
I wouldn't say horror.
I would not.
No, it's not scary.
Yeah.
Kind of, in a sense, but
I see, yeah.
Yeah.
Hellbent came out in January 10th of this year.
Okay, so literally this year. So, should we just go ahead and see our ratings before we get into it?
Yeah. I gave it a 3.75.
Okay, I gave it a 4.5. Very rare I give the higher rating.
This one, nah.
Didn't float your boat?
I think what saved it was the, ghost paranormal aspect of it that I liked. Other than that...
You read it pretty fast. Suddenly I saw that you read a lot of it in one day.
Perks of being up at my boyfriend's house that has no internet.
Ah, that's what it was.
And he was working all day. So I had the book.
You read.
And I read.
You only told me.
The entire day. Oh, you got your tabs.
I got my tabs.
I do not.
There. Well, I figured I should keep track of the magic and the different things if there was going to be a sequel, so I don't forget, and I can at least refer back.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the point where I'm not gonna, if I see it and it's, at a discount, I might buy the second one just to see what happens, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy the second one.
Well, you would keep this one.
Maybe. I don't see myself ever really reading it again, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just didn't. I don't know.
That's fair.
I didn't really care
it's
for
fair.
it.
It has... So it's called Ninth House because there's 8 core houses of magic that kind of all specialize in a thing. Oh, you can read the back. I forget there's a synopsis for us.
I forget that I do that. Yeah. Okay. We'll get there. Also, I forgot her name was Galaxy. I thought her name was Alex, and when her mom called her that, I was like, wait, what?
Pet name? It took so long. I understood that her nickname was Alex, but I was like, how do you get Alex from Galaxy? And, I kept saying it in my head, despite the fact that you hear Alex in the word Galaxy.
I don't get it. Okay, Galaxy Stern is the most unlikely member of Yale's freshman class. Raised in the Los Angeles lands by a hippie mom, Alex dropped out of school early and into a world of shady drug dealer boyfriends, dead-end jobs, and much, much worse. In fact, by age 20, she is the sole survivor of horrific, unsolved multiple homicide. Well, not unsolved. Yeah, Some might say she's thrown her life away, but at her hospital bedside, Alex is offered a second chance to attend one of the world's most prestigious universities on a full ride. What's the catch, and why her? Still searching for answers, Alex arrives in New Haven, tasked by her mysterious benefactors with monitoring the activities of Yale's secret societies. Their 8 windowless tombs are the well-known haunts of the rich and powerful, from high-ranking politics to Wall Street's biggest players. But their occult activities are more sinister and more extraordinary than any paranoid imagination might conceive. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. I don't know.
Okay, what were your gripes?
I just couldn't really get into it.
Okay.
It didn't feel very magic-y to me. I don't know. like, I get the magic, but it was more of like a murder mystery thing. And
Yeah.
I also didn't like how she had this, like, really aggressive side.
Yeah, that threw me off.
I don't know. I couldn't.
It was jarring when it
It's
does
not,
come out.
yeah, it's not like I can relate to all the characters. I mean, there's a lot of books where I'm like,
Yeah.
I can never relate to that. But I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care for the main
It
character.
wasn't necessary. But I could see that the magic, because there's these houses that can use magic, but it's under strict protocol. There's rules. They can't just, like, do magic. It's not like Harry Potter where they're practicing.
Yeah.
Like, there's these classes to do magic. They just happen to be able to do this magic.
On Nexus?
On Nexus, yeah, kind of like pillar tombs, I guess, is kind of... It was kind of hard to picture exactly how they were explaining the map of their... How this New Haven city is magical.
Is a map.
There's a map of Yale, because this is in Yale. And so, like, it's a map of Yale, and they pinpoint, like, the magical buildings
Well, we
that
can...
each house has. Oh, yeah, I can go through. Does it say what? Oh, perfect.
Can I pronounce those? Probably not. Okay. So there's the Ancient Eight, and this is called Ninth House because they're part of a group called Leith.
Yeah, that's how I pronounced it.
And basically they are the people that have to, like, regulate and make sure that everything is up to code, basically.
Yeah.
That everyone's not doing magic crazily. Mm-hmm. There's no, like, killing people. There's not... They make sure everything's ethical.
It's the USDA.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. So she's part of this group, and what sets her apart from everyone is that she can see ghosts. They call them greys.
Yeah.
Which I did like that.
That was cool.
And so other people can see them if they drink a certain potion, but over time it will end up killing them.
Yeah, it, like, gives them crazy symptoms when they drink it, and it only lasts so long.
Yeah.
But she just naturally all the time sees them.
And there's a rule that, like, you should never look them in the eye, you should never know their names, because then they'll become attached, which makes
the
sense.
more you know about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do this, like, one of the houses does this weird ritual thing where they, like, cut people open from the, like, insane asylum and, like, give them money.
Yeah, they don't... I still don't know why they do that. Prognostication?
I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's like they're just doing, like, practice, or not even practice, just, like, out of curiosity.
I don't know. It's very strange. And so, patients. Basically, while they're doing magic, they have to make sure that nothing can get in, because she can see the ghosts. Right. And so she has to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And it almost reminds me of, like, when a doctor is doing a very hard procedure and they have those rooms where, like, people can watch.
Yeah, the viewing, I forget what it is, but when a bunch of students or something are watching the operation.
It's just very strange. And there's Alex. There's a guy called Darlington.
I hate that his name is Darlington when it's just Daniel Arlington.
I don't like...
Like, could have said Danny.
Like, yeah, I don't like it at all. And then there's Doss, which she... Like,
she's kind of like a secretary, almost.
Like, mother of the house kind
of thing. Yeah. She's, like,
but
the knowledgeable one.
I think.
Yeah. They all have, like, code names of, like, what their position is called.
Yeah,
so
and
she's
then there's
the Oculus.
Then there's the Dean, Sando.
Fuck that guy.
He gets his end.
He does.
And then there's, like, certain... Yeah, I mean, there wasn't too many people to keep track of. Like, I was able to keep track of who was who.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible.
I wrote myself a list, because as it was going in the beginning, when they're introducing everyone, I'm like, oh no, are they going to have, like, a bunch of people? But it was easy to keep track of.
So there's the Ancient Eight. So they're the major houses, because there's major houses and then there's lesser houses, which... Okay.
Who, I think they lost their...
Yeah, like St. Elmo's
house. Yeah.
Yeah. So Skull and Bones was established in 1832. Their motto is rich or poor, all are equal in death. Their teachings are divination using human and animal entrails. There's notable alumni in here.
Oh, I guess because when they go to the party, sometimes they mention a name.
So the notable alumni of Skull and Bones is William Howard Taft, George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, and John Kerry.
Yeah.
Okay.
It takes a mix of, like, actual history and actual places and makes it into magic.
Yeah, I saw this, and one was, like, Anderson Cooper. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So, okay. Scroll and Key was founded in 1842. Their motto is, have power on this dark land to lighten it, and power on this dead world to make it live. Their teachings are portal magic. I know no one of their people.
Yeah, you have to read the names. I won't
Book and Snake was established in 1863. Their motto is everything changes, nothing perishes. They deal with necro stuff and bone conjuring. Wolf's Head, 1883. Their motto, the strength of the pack is the wolf, the strength of the wolf is the pack. Their teaching is therianthropy.
Yeah, that's how I would say it.
I have no idea what that is. Manuscript was founded in 1952. Their motto, dream delivers us to dream, and there is no end to illusion. They deal with mirror magic and glamours. Kind of a cool thing is they have this little pocket mirror that, like, if you shine it at people, you can take their form.
Yeah, you can, like, capture their image.
Then the lesser houses is Aurelian, which was founded in 1910. These ones don't have mottos. Their teaching is logomancy, which is word binding and divination through language. St. Elmo's was founded in 1889. They deal with elemental magic and storm calling. And then Berzelius was founded in 1848. Teaching none. Okay. Founded in the tradition of its namesake, Johannes Jacob Berzelius, the Swedish chemist who created a new system of chemical notation that left the secrecy of alchemists in the past. So there's that.
There was, like, a lot of potential to have, like, super cool magic.
Yeah,
that'd be cool to read. But yeah, this leaned way more into the mystery of a girl dies on campus. She's not a student or she's not part of these houses or anything.
They call her Townie.
She's a Townie. Mm-hmm. It sounds so much worse than what it actually means.
Tara.
Tara. I don't know. Tara. I think I kept going back and forth with the pronunciations. But Alex is there on her own because Darlington disappears, and so she's left on her own to have to, like, do write-ups and, like, be the main person to have to deal with all the things, and she just has a gut feeling that there's something more to it, and it's just into this whole murder investigation, and you find out there's been more deaths prior, and they kind of have a pattern, and there's this whole thing and the whole conspiracy, and it definitely did not go the way I thought it was. I thought it was going to be more like Harry Potter in the sense of students learning magic.
So did I.
Yeah.
I was gravely not...
We were deceived.
Yes.
I still liked it, because I like me a good murder.
It was okay. Yeah, so basically it happens with... So Alex, you kind of get Alex's backstory. She kind of went down the wrong path. She was doing drugs. She was hanging out with the wrong crowd. And then she wakes up. She had overdosed on fentanyl with her best friend, Healy.
Something like that.
And there were 3 guys that were badly murdered. Brutally murdered.
Like, she wasn't a suspect because of how brutal. They didn't think she was physically capable.
Yeah. And so that's why she gets the call, because she can see dead people, and so they say, if you help us, you can have a full ride to Yale. Mm-hmm. She's not doing the best in her schoolwork. She's lying to her 2 roommates a lot.
Because she has to, with this position, she has, like, late nights whenever they do some kind of party or some kind of ritual. She has to be there on guard. And so it's just late nights after certain rituals, like, the smell of it is so bad, so she shower and change and everything beforehand, and then do write-ups for everything. It's like a whole thing on its own.
Yeah, and they also have their own like safe houses that are guarded by magic as well. And so you kind of learn like her dynamic. I did like how each chapter was based off of the like
the season, so like the term. Yeah,
I did like that. It was easy for me to like figure out what was going on. But basically, Darlington is her mentor. He's trying to teach her the ways, and he goes missing. He gets sucked into a portal, and so they're trying to figure out how to get him back. And as they're doing that, then this girl dies, and the dean's like, "It's fine." She's like, "It's not fine." So she goes on her own. She gets... Honestly, I also loved Turner.
I did like the Officer Turner.
Officer Turner.
Good guy Turner.
Yeah. So he is like an ordinary cop, but he gets paid more to know about their like secret magic stuff.
Society stuff.
Yeah. And so he gets wrapped into this, and then there's this guy called the Bridegroom, which actually his last name's North.
Yeah.
He was... I think he died in 1830 something, and he killed his fiancée Daisy and himself.
Yeah, he's like infamous.
Yeah,
ghost in the city.
Yeah, and so she basically, there's this thing called the Glooma that goes after her. So she's like, oh my god, like now I know that this girl that died, like even though she's a townie, something happened with her that ties her to Yale.
Right after she like looked into it more, and so she's like, oh, they don't want me looking into this, so I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, and so she gets attacked by this thing called the Glooma, which is kind of like a ghost, but
it was like a step up.
Yeah, and
like it actually killed her.
And so then the Bridegroom actually saves her, which she was like, okay, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And so then she let the Bridegroom get attached to her. She actually goes and like kills herself so she can go.
Yeah, so she's like
talk to him.
What you call it? The Borderlands. So it's like
Egypt.
right after death, but not
in
the afterlife yet.
Yeah, and so she talks to him, and they're trying to figure out where Darlington is, and she's like, I want you to try to find Tara, and he was like, I want you to try to find who killed Daisy, and she's like, I definitely thought you killed Daisy. Yeah. She's like, this is awkward. And so she's trying to help him find out like who killed them, while he's trying to help her find Tara on the other side. And he tells her like, I've not seen Darlington, I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
Then things start getting a little weird. So we find out that Alex is actually the one that killed the guys.
Yeah.
And the whole reason that she did is because she was at this party. Healy or whatever. I don't even know how to pronounce her name because it's a nickname.
Yeah.
She goes and like comes into the bedroom next to Alex because they're like best friends, and Alex wants to leave like and run away basically. And so she's very like drugged out, and she falls asleep next to Alex, and Alex wakes up and sees Healy, but she's a ghost because,
totally dead.
She's dead, and she starts freaking out, which wakes the guys up. And they come in, and they're like, well, we just have to get rid of the body. Yeah. Which, like, really angers Alex. And so then Healy gets into Alex's body, and the rage that Healy is having possesses Alex to kill all those men. And that's why she has the fentanyl overdose, because of Healy being inside of her. And, which I thought was crazy. And then... there's, like, glimpses of Alex, like, talking about how she's got a snake in her that's, like, slithering. And she's got to, like, bring it down kind of thing.
because, what did she say? The way she was acting around Healy, she was just like, oh, girl, you need to have, like, a rattler or something. Like, you need to, like, toughen up. And so now she uses this as a... like a metaphor for herself.
Yeah, and Darlington actually found out right before he was sucked into the portal. So she's freaking out that if he comes back, he's going to tattle. And then, I'm trying to think of like what next happens.
That's very
after.
convoluted because
there's just a lot of things that happen.
Yeah, she learns about different connections Tara had to different houses, and she's trying to limit down the names, and then it just gets weird. And she's like, well, in order for her to do this, then she had to have this or the help of these people, which the houses aren't allowed to like tell normal people. Yeah, and so that would have been like a huge, I think it was like worth a suspension, maybe even losing their house. And
definitely a fine.
Yeah, at least a fine.
Yeah.
And she was dealing out this magical medicinal, like this plant that like made people want to serve you. Yeah, it was just, they just want to obey. And it just gets very convoluted by the end.
Yeah, because then, so one of her roommates that's like outside, she has no idea about these like things.
Mercy.
So Mercy accidentally takes this, and it makes your tongue purple. And there was a video that was going around by this asshole, who basically would use it on girls to have sex with them, and because they couldn't say no. And so there's a video of Mercy doing acts to him, and so then Alex's revenge is to use it on him and make him eat shit. Literally.
Eat shit.
Which I was like,
that's
okay. And so then she finds out that Darlington was actually doing research on the bridegroom before he left too, which makes her dig deeper into the bridegroom's case. She does find out that it was technically the bride or the groom that killed Daisy, but it was because he was possessed by a guy that was within that like prognostication
thingy. His soul like left and then possessed him.
And then we learn a weird thing about Daisy. And it kind of lost me.
I mean, to be fair, did not see it coming.
It's true.
It got me.
It did. So, Daisy, sweet little southern lady, not so sweet.
No, she's been killing and taking their body.
She's been literally eating souls.
Yeah, taking body. That's how it's been. Yeah. She's just alive. She's one of the professors.
Yeah, she's one of the professors, and towards the end, it's that professor who I thought was a sweet old lady.
Yeah.
Not so sweet. She kills the dean, which, that's fair. Not a loss. Yeah, good on her. And then she sees people that can see grays different, so if she looks at someone, she can see them kind of like a light around them.
Yeah, she can tell a gray is inside them.
Yeah, and that like these people are special. And she waits until they're ripe, and then she literally goes in and eats their soul to take their body so she can stay young.
Her soul.
Pretty much, yeah. She's been doing that for over 100 years.
Because she found out that if she eats a normal soul, she only gets so long. But she had a soul that could see grace and had the special powers, and it gave her so much more life. So that's why these previous murders that they found out about were in such a pattern. It was because she was running out of life, so she needed to eat a new soul.
And because she was doing that, then that's what the nexuses were for the houses.
As she ate a soul, it created enough power to like mark the land, whatever the fucking nexus is.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it because when they're all in there, the bridegroom is in there and she can see ghosts too. She's got that power, so she called the bridegroom by his nickname, which is Birdie.
Yeah.
Terrible name. Anyways, so
really is.
And then he was like, "Oh my god, that's Daisy."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh my god, like you don't look anything like Daisy." And she's like, "Well, that's because I'm like not." And she even uses, I believe, the housewife or the housekeeper, Gladys.
Oh yeah, who was originally here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when they were engaged couple, they were walking, and so they needed to have like a, not an escort, not guardian,
kind of like an,
like forget what they're called.
When you're courting someone.
Yeah, there's someone Not a super. Oh my god, what is the word? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Like oh god. I know these people are probably screaming at us right now. It's not a supervisor. Why
no,
do I keep supervisor? Chaperone.
Chaperone.
Oh my god.
Oh, that took a lot of brain power.
Oh my god.
Gladys
Chaperone.
was the chaperone.
She was, yes.
All that just to say that.
Chaperone. God. Yes. So then, well, I guess she killed her at some point.
Yeah.
And
that was her first body.
Yeah. So she dies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because Alex uses the power of all these ghosts.
Yeah.
To basically stop her and kill her, and she just becomes ash because she's so old.
Yeah, she was able to coax out all of the souls that she ate, and so all that was left was a decrepit ash.
Yes, that's right. And then they found out that Darlington actually wasn't taken by a portal. He was swallowed by a demon.
By a demon, yeah.
So now he's a demon?
Yeah. Humans can be transformed into demons only if they're eaten by
a demon. And I think if they've sinned.
Or what are they called? Or if they've properly sinned and eaten by...
Yeah. So he was eaten, and that is the start, like, the premise of the next book is that they're going to hell.
Yeah, they're going to hell.
It's a wild book.
It's a wild book. Now, why it wasn't a full 5 for me was, one, at the end when the dean was confessing that he was behind a bunch of stuff, and then that Daisy was behind a lot of stuff. It was literally like villain telling their plan right at the end because they don't think the hero can do anything about it, and the hero does something about it.
Yes.
Felt like that. Also, I liked the story. Alex could have been a little less aggressive, but it'd be cool to have a spin-off in this world to learn more about the magic part and focus on the magic.
There wasn't very much magic.
Yeah. It'd be cool to maybe follow someone in one of the houses and see how they go about their rituals and stuff, because learning about the cool little things they could do, like with the compact mirror and take their image, or... It
was cool.
There was cool little things. So it'd be cool to have a spin-off in this world, just to learn more about it.
Yes.
Because there are other cities and college campuses that have this as well. And I'm excited for the next one. I don't know if this was just gonna be a duology, or if she's planning on a third, or doing a spin-off.
Yeah,
Leigh Bardugo writes a lot, and she has written books, and I have them. She's written The Shadow and Bone up there. Pretty sure she wrote like the Grishaverse, so that's like 3 different series, all separate series, but all in the same world with characters going in and out of all of them.
There is going to be a third one.
Ooh, does it have a name, or does it just say...
It's untitled. Alex Stern number 3.
Fascinating.
There's not even detail. There's like nothing on it.
Huh. Okay, she must have just said that she will be writing a third. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she also wrote Six of Crows, I'm pretty sure is hers. Six of Crows, Shadow and Bone.
Yeah, Six of Crows, yep, Shadow and Bone, Crooked Kingdom.
Crooked Kingdoms, yeah.
Siege and Storm, Rune and Rising, King of Scars.
Yeah, and those are all interconnected.
Demon in the Wood, yeah.
So, I mean, it's not unlike her to maybe keep writing books in this universe, but maybe not following Alex anymore. That'd be cool to read, because the magic system, she didn't go too deep into it, but what we saw was cool. There's definitely potential there.
There is potential. It just,
the I didn't murder really mystery part really did throw me off.
I don't know. I just didn't really care for Alex. I don't know.
Alex was
she was like trying to be all cool, and I was like, I don't understand it.
She didn't have friends growing up.
Well,
she was the kid that saw ghosts. It didn't work out well for her.
I was trying to I guess I can go into my
rowdy
1-star reviews.
Rowdy. You're like, get ready.
Get ready to get rowdy. So this book is out of 4.04 stars.
Huh?
243,933 ratings.
Ooh.
It's mainly 4 stars.
Okay.
Let's see. A lot of people were just disappointed. Also, the chapters were really long.
The chapters were so long. That was a bummer.
I need some extra strength bleach to wipe the memory of this boring book.
Wow.
Someone said this book was racist. I didn't get those vibes.
Turner was black. That's all I can think of.
Which I didn't, I mean...
It wasn't really mentioned. Oh, the only time it was really mentioned was when North was like, alright, can you trust that officer? And she's like, what, the 18th century ghost doesn't think black people can be a cop? And he's like, no, I've been here. I know the changes. And that was like it.
Yeah, that was it. Someone said it took her a month to finish. Not a fan at all.
Ooh.
Incredibly dry and dull. A lot of people DNF'd it.
I could see that.
I have no idea what's exactly going on here, but I don't care. I just can't get into her.
That's what she said.
There it is. Yeah, I just...
It's a particular niche that if you're into, apparently, fantasy mystery.
Okay, this one wins.
Ooh.
Impossible to put down Stephen King about 9th House. Somebody please put me down, me whilst reading it. That one wins. That one wins.
I will say, it's kind of a weird thing to see Stephen King blurb it, but I'm used to Stephen King with his horror, not with his fantasy.
Also, this one.
Ooh.
It's a yikes and a good riddance for me, gents.
It's a yikes and a good riddance.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of hype to this book.
There was.
And I don't know. Like I said, I just could not get into this. So
well, now you know this isn't your particular fantasy.
And you like
fantasies.
Yeah, but I've read more like Harry Potter fantasy.
Have you read adult fantasy or just YA fantasy so far?
I think just YA fantasy so far,
okay.
But I couldn't really get into this. I do like the fantasy. I mean, would you call like witches?
I was gonna say you like witches.
I
witches
love
is
witches, and I do like. I mean, when I was younger, I liked fantasy, like the fairies and things like that. But I just
maybe you need more like magical creature fantasy rather than like
because I do
magical
I do
aspects
love
put
a witch
into
book.
Our normal world.
God, I love a witch book.
I have a whole shelf dedicated to only witch books because I had so many I didn't know where to put them.
I do love a witch book.
I love witches.
Yeah, this just wasn't
like we were looking at my bookshelf and you mentioned Akatar.
I've thought about that.
That one's fairies with the fae.
I don't know. Is that book that's being hyped right now, The Fourth Wing? Is that?
That is fantasy. That's romantasy.
Oh.
So I think it's mainly romance in a fantasy setting. I guess there's a difference between romance fantasy and fantasy romance. I watched a video yesterday to learn about this, but it depends on if it's more fantasy forward or more romance forward.
Interesting. But I have heard incredible things.
I've heard crazy things about Fourth Wing, but they didn't print enough because they didn't think it was going to be that popular. So right now, all the first editions are gone. You can buy it for like $50+.
Interesting.
But I think the publishing house is like, oh shit, make $1 billion more because if it gets popular on TikTok, you got lucky.
But I have wanted to read possibly that one series. I know Akatar, that one's like you gotta really dedicate yourself because those are thick.
Them thicks.
But
Shadow and Bone is also a Netflix show now. That one's pretty popular. I don't know if that's technically, that might be YA. But I mean, there's so many subgenres in fantasy.
Yeah.
That I guess we just have to find which ones. Because it is weird when reading our normal world, and then they throw a magical aspect to it. It's harder to like believe because it's
like I said, this just wasn't like
wasn't your main character.
No, I couldn't like her. Like she was okay, but I didn't really care for her. I didn't like the Darlington too much. I also was getting weird vibes like, are they together? Are they not? I'm very confused.
Yeah, I have
by
a whole tab marking like them, like Darlington and Alex, be like, do they have feelings? Do they not?
And then I'm like, well, does Dawes like Darlington? Like, it's just
Dawes
all
is like obsessed.
kind of strange to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it was an interesting mix. I liked it, but I also like really weird things.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I gave like a solid 3.75. Like, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like the worst book I've ever read.
You finished it.
Yeah. And like I said, I read like almost all of it in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I had nothing else to do. But sometimes when I can't get into a book, I will do like literally anything else.
Yeah, you're like
I'll
dusty.
play like a random game on my phone. Like I will do whatever.
We can find ways.
But it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't terrible. I don't know.
Well, I'm for sure gonna read Hellbent. I'm waiting for the paperback copy because my ninth house is paperback, and how dare they make me mismatch? Not for that. So when I read Hellbent, I'll let you know if it'll be worth it for you or not. Or you can always just borrow my copy.
That was also true. Yeah, let me know, because that one might be more fantasy because they're going to hell.
I do like hell.
That's where I'm going to in the future. Read about my future home. So that could be more magical, but also reading the back of this, you would have thought that would have been more magical, but it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, and I have to say, there was a lot of hype when this initially came out, and then it kind of died down, and then I didn't hear about it again until Hellbent came out, rather than other books that, like, I consistently still see Colleen Hoover's or Carrie Soto's back. I still see that coming around, and it's like, hasn't been consistently popular, I guess.
And I haven't even really seen too much on Hellbent, honestly.
Yeah, actually,
I think also, though, like, the people that I follow on TikTok for book talk are more romance genre than this type of genre, but I would think that I would see something.
If it's a really good book, it'll cross over any genre.
Well, because Fourth Wing or whatever, like, I've seen a ton of stuff on that.
Yeah. And, like, I still see, like, deep thrillers or something coming up on my romance pages anyway.
So we'll see.
We'll see. But speaking of romance, next week we have good old Emily Henry.
Very excited.
Come back. We are finally reading Beach Read.
Very excited.
We have read Book Lovers a little while ago, so if you want to listen to that one, we got that up.
Fantastic.
We love Book Lovers. I've read Strangers.
People
We Meet on Vacation.
I was like, wow.
I guess I could have looked at the book itself, yeah. I'm actually already almost done with Beach Read. Didn't mean to read much of that today. I was just going to kill maybe 20 minutes and then boom. But Emily Henry, have you heard more about her newest book, Happy Place?
No.
I've heard some mixed reviews.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably still going to get it once it comes out in paperback, because how dare you make me have to mismatch my goddamn series.
Do you know that's what I love about Amy Berry?
Oh,
you put it in paperback.
You keep it in paperback.
I love you.
Keep it in paperback.
I don't understand it.
It's not that hard.
Lucy Score? Paperback.
Paperback. Lauren Asher?
Paperback.
Paperback. Just keep it in paperback.
I would think, I don't know. I'm not an author. I don't know how much it costs to, make a book, print it, whatnot. I would think paperback would be cheaper. I don't know.
I guess, but then you make more money off the hardcovers. But then you get a lot of people not wanting to spend the money on a hardcover.
No, I refuse. I mean, the only reason I get hardcover is from the book thing.
Book of the month?
There we go. The book thing.
Or at least don't make it like a year in between. releasing the hardcover and then the paperback. It's really unnecessary.
There's a lot of books that I want, but I am waiting until
getting it until yeah. And if I wait a year, probably gonna forget it if it's like a brand new book.
100%. I'm not gonna. I mean,
unless it's part of a series.
We usually try to once a year go and I don't know. I mean, we'll
lose our shit in a bookstore.
Yeah.
Lose our shit in our wallet in a bookstore.
So I feel like that's probably when we'll remember these things.
Yeah, we like to be thorough, and we go through all of the sections, and then we'll see them and be like, oh!
I try to beforehand. I try to go through all my Goodreads books that I have and click on it to see if there's any ones, and then I make
my auto-buy authors I try to keep on top of. But there's so many. They come out on Tuesdays. It's hard to keep up on sometimes, but with our schedule, you can find on Baby Got Stacks podcast on Instagram, so you can keep up with us at least. We're consistent.
There's that.
There is that. Trying to think what else. We have links in our bio to our Goodreads, to our videos on YouTube of these episodes.
So if you want to hear us a second time.
Knock yourself out. On a different platform. Like us wherever you're listening to this.
I think that's it.
Oh, you know what? Maybe is Helly. Because I think her name's Helen.
I honestly have no idea. It's Hellie. I don't know.
Maybe it's Helly. Because if it were a K, I would say Kelly.
Well, yeah. Helly, maybe? I don't know. That's a weird nickname.
But Helen's also not the greatest.
That's true.
Name.
That's true.
All right, we'll go now.
Okay. We're going to go now. Bye, guys.
Bye.